Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, sorry about that. I have been absolutely overwhelmed at work and also not too well for the last week. A lot better now after some horrible virus. I also didn't have a lot to show and tell because I hadn't had time to go out and I was itching to go out and look at the new collections. I have now got a whole shed load of stuff that I'm working my way through, just trying once. And I thought I would take today, even though it's a bit gloomy to do swatches, to show you my purchases, just a couple, and talk about the Chanel Spring 2017 collection, which I bought a few things from day before yesterday. So this to me is an unusual mishmash of a collection again. Almost like two separate collections. The centerpiece, I would say, is this little beauty that I did purchase, the Coco Code Harmonie de Blush Harmony. And you will have seen this in the promos everywhere. Can we just take a moment to admire the lettering, Coco Code? And it seems to me that this is kind of referring the classic Chanel colours, really, of red, although it's a slightly more bricky red, suitable for blush. The kind of gold of the threads, the silver of the threads in the classic kind of Chanel tweeds, and beige, another great classic from Coco, along with black, of course. And those colours, they're not primary colours, but they've got that kind of primary neutral palette of Chanel with the pop of red that's so famous, run through a large part of the collection. So there's this blush. There are three nail varnishes and this top coat. I only bought the top coat, which is Black Metamorphosis, which the sales assistants were showing on their nails over light colours, the beige and the kind of ballerina pink, to give a very different kind of grungy look. I'm excited to try that. I didn't buy any of the polishes. There's a standard bright tomatoey red, which I've got dozens of. There's a fairly standard goldeny beige, a fairly standard pinky nude, and those are the three colours. They absolutely fit in with this palette here, but they weren't for me because I've already got them. Then the two Stylo Yeux also fit in with that palette. You know, I'm a big fan of the Stylo for eyeliners. I have them in all sorts of colours. I didn't have, amazingly, a basic brown, and they brought one out which is matte taupe. And you can see it there. It's beautifully soft to apply, stays in place. I'm wearing it today just with some mascara. It looks great. There is also a dark glossy black. If you're a fan of black eyeliner, then you definitely want to check it out. It's a great formula. I did try it. It really didn't shift off my hand very easily, even with eye makeup remover. I don't wear black a lot. It's a bit too harsh for my eyes. And I did buy the calligraphy gel from the holiday collection, so I didn't need another black. But if you like black eyeliners, that's one to check out. They're also promoting the eyebrow pencil. This is an old one I've got. I really like them. They've got great brush on the end. This one's drying out a bit, so it's not as dark as it should be, but they're re-promoting that. And then there are two eye palettes. One is called Code Elegance and one is called Code Subtil. And they're both beautiful formulas, very buttery soft, quite glittery, both well pigmented. I was very tempted by Code Elegance, which is the warmer palette, which again I think fitted in with this Coco Code aesthetic. It had two golds. Well, they said a gold and a bronze. I would say a very yellowy gold and a more kind of rosy gold, a nice dark brown, and a pearlized white. I do like palettes with a pearlized white because I definitely need something in the inner corner of my eyes these days to brighten up the shadows. So I was very, very tempted with that one. But I remembered that I thought there were a couple of golds in last year's Empreinte du Désert, which I have and love. Now, the yellowy in the Code Elegance is a bit lighter than this, I would say, but similar. And the bronze is, again, a bit lighter, a bit golder than this bronze here, but very, very similar. And the brown is darker and less pearlized than this. And obviously this one doesn't have the white, but I just decided I didn't need another selection like that. Now there are lipsticks as well, I should add. Two Cocoa Shines. One of them looks in the bullet just like this colour. So I immediately reached for that. But it looked very different, just a very see-through gloss with a lot of glitter when I tried it. And there's a red. There are two Rouge Allure, both of them I think red, and two Rouge Allure Velvet, which is my favourite Chanel lipstick formulation. It's fantastic matte substitute for those of us with older lips. And one of those was a red, but I just didn't need another red. The other was a medium-toned pink, which doesn't seem to kind of fit in with this aesthetic, but did fit in with the other blush, because there is another ordinary blush, which I thought I had bought. I intended to, but in fact when I unpackaged at home, I'd ended up with this Asia Special. I'm going to talk about this in a separate video. So I haven't got the blush. All as I can tell you is I think it's quite similar from my stash to Accent, if you've got Accent. A bit pinker, a bit more mauvey pink than this from memory. But a much more muted colour than the main colour palette over there. And the other quad also fits with that aesthetic. They're kind of more muted, taupey, mauvey taupes. Very, very pretty, but most of us will have a ton of things already like that and not quite fitting in with the rest of the collection. So, yeah, kind of a bit of a mismatch. I don't know why they brought that separate blush out. That didn't make much sense to me, but there you go. And I'm quite glad now that I turn out not to have bought it, even though I'd intended to. So, yeah, I should also say they've got a load of the lip pencils, like chubby sticks, that they've gone in for, you know, like Clinique and NARS and MAC already do. They seem like a really nice smooth formula, but I just wasn't in the market. Huge range of colours as well. Is this collection something that you want to rush for? The two eye palettes are very, very nice. Beautiful consistency. I think the Subtil one will be the more popular one. Very, very wearable. But you probably have got a ton of colours like that already in your collection. Certainly if you're a Chanel enthusiast. I'm not sure you're going to need it. The other one, as I say, if it had been brought out at Christmas, I would have fallen for it like a ton of bricks, because those kind of gold and the silvery white, you know, would have been really great at that time of year. I don't know why they didn't bring it out then. The whole Christmas collection was very strange. I mean, this is the kind of star product if you collect Chanel products. It's a collector's kind of item, but it is wearable. It's a little difficult to get into the separate colours. I tend to use this angled, relatively small blush brush from MAC because I've got quite small face anyway. And the actual brush that they give you with it is okay for getting the colours on, although you'll need something else to blend. I have worn it a couple of times. Let's just show you the colours. These two are quite glittery. These two much more matte. Really strong highlighter there. Let's just... Those aren't really showing at all in this light. But this one, which is very pigmented, well, it's not showing as strong as it actually looks. This needs a fair bit of blending, but is very workable, particularly with a soft brush. All of them swirl together, very nice. You can definitely work with these for a kind of more wintry or contouring look, or swirl all of them together. It's definitely a very pretty, wearable blush. Is it a classic? Well, I don't know. I mean, I did pull out last year's when I got home, reminding myself how beautiful that looked, although I've very rarely worn it because these colours here are very bright indeed, required a lot of blending, but, you know, it's a beautiful item to have in your collection, and I think this one probably is too. As I say, I'm excited to try the top coat. If you're in the market for an eye palette, they're nice. If you're in the market for the Stilo, they're nice. All of the products perfectly wearable, but nothing to absolutely get excited about, except perhaps this one. So those are my opening thoughts. Love to hear what items people have bought. I'm suspecting a lot of people will have gone for this. And I've got lots of others to show you in the next few days. Guerlain, Burberry, Tom Ford, and a few other odds and ends. So until then, bye for now.